Thank you.
Oh, get in here. Yeah, that's pretty off. Okay, we have minutes from previous meeting, April 15th. Chance to look at them?
Yeah. I didn't have any comments. A motion to approve.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. PJ?
Yes. Okay, first meeting of the month, we do some scheduled reports, and Mr. Frank Kitko is our zoning inspector, and he'll give us a report.
Okay, gentlemen, you should all have a copy of activities for the month of April, and we processed 5 applications, and you see there 3 of them were accessory structures, 1 new house. We have spent quite a bit of time working with, continued working with 3 groups of individuals interested in developing some commercial property along 44 in East Washington. I think this is the 3rd meeting with the one gentleman last Friday, but maybe there will be some progress down there in the near future. I hope so. That's all I have.
Anyone with any zoning-related questions for Mr. Kitko? Okay, thank you, Frank. Mr. Emmerich Gordon is our Township Highway Superintendent, will give us a road report.
Auburn Township Road Department report for April 2019. The month saw no appreciable snow and or weather event requiring plowing or the application of the icing materials. Total materials used for the winter season was 1,765 tons. The new yearly average stands at 1,060 tons. We had just an average of nothing outstanding, nothing too low. Bids for providing road salt have come in for both the Q and ODOT consortiums. The amounts are as follows. For the Q bids, and we still are involved in Q, but we didn't commit to any road salt this year. Cargill came in at $71.89. Morton Incorporated came in at $97.73, and American Rock Salt came in at $103. That's for Q. The ODOT bids, Geauga County, now each county's bid separately, and there's 88 counties, so Geauga County, Morton came in at $64.39. Currently we have 1,080 tons of road salt in our dome from last year's Q contract, and we are now active participants in the ODOT 2019 winter road salt contract, and we have committed to 2,000 tons purchased through ODOT this year. We'll be paying a lower price on.
We should end up the year with 1,000 tons.
Yes, we got 2,000, we have 1,000 in there. We have a typical year, we should have another 1,000 left in the dome next year. That's what we've done in the past. Ditching and drainage issues were our focus for the month of April. We did take care of 10 resident requests, and work did begin on our 2019 capital improvement projects. Some mowing, brush clearing were necessary to complete the ditching projects, and right now we're over on Stafford Road. We have Taylor and Woodacre to complete prior to commencing with the repairs and the asphalt surface. Coal patching was done on several roads. There were 2 tons of material used and burn repair on various roads as well. We did have a lot of washouts we experienced from that rain that we had there last week. There was another instance of illegal dumping with scrap plywood being dumped in our ditches on Taylor Road this time. 33% reduced load limit signs were released and removed. There was 1 downtree call out due to high winds, and I believe you had a couple more that you took care of for us. And we did have 1 full interment at the Shady Side Cemetery. And that's all I got for you.
Okay, any road-related questions for Emmerich? Thank you very much, Emmerich. Stick around, we have some road stuff to do yet. We'll go to trustee reports. We'll start with John Everly.
We did receive all of our capital improvement project bids. And the first one we got was for the resurfacing of various roads. Chagrin Valley Paving is the low bidder on that at $767,990.35. And we also received, they've done a very good job for us. They paid last year and the year before for us. Did a very good job. We also received a letter today from the engineers recommending that Chagrin Valley has all of their paperwork in order and recommend that we go ahead and award them a contract. So if you guys have any, would anybody have any objection to doing that?
No.
We
Did a good
follow
job.
the engineers' advice on these things, and that's
There,
what we'll do.
the high bid was $855,000, almost under, $856,000. So I'll make a motion that we award the resurfacing of various roads to Chagrin Valley Paving for $767,990.35.
I'll second.
And the good news is that is over $90,000 underneath the engineer's estimate, so that's a good thing.
John,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
Okay, the other project that we sent out for bid and we opened up is the project that we're working in conjunction with Troy Township on Snow Road, and this involves the upgrade of the cross culverts, and each township will be responsible for the ditching and tree removal on their respective side. And then that should bring us up to preparation for the following year to put a surface on the road. Right now, that number, the low bidder on there is United Earthworks at $85,626. And they have not worked prior with the county, so they're vetting them right now. And they'll come back probably at our next meeting to give us a recommendation on that. That bid number will be split in half, because we'll only pay half and Troy will pay half. It's a very, I think it's a very good bid as far as what we spent to do those 24-inch culverts ourselves. These are bigger and a little more difficult, plus by bidding them out like this, it solves the issue with Troy.
The initial engineer's estimate was $100,000.
Right,
So
yeah, you're
so we're
right.
under two.
So, that should come in real well. Right now, we have out for bid our crack seals. And, so, once again, we put out crack seal with an estimate for every road. Well, not every road, but all of the eligible roads. And then Emmerich will go through them when they come back, and we'll decide which roads we're gonna go ahead and apply crack seal to. And we've allotted in the neighborhood of 50,000, 50 to 60,000 to do that, which is what we budgeted early on in the year. So that should take care of that. And then one other thing that we want to make it, I guess, make it official. And unless you fellows would have any objection, we discussed where are we gonna hold the large item cleanup day. And we've held it about 5 years now, 4 years.
4 in a row, but
Down at Adam Hall, we determined that that is the best place, because you do have a big area to queue the traffic without having to have them go out into the road. And so that's where we would like to plan that. That's obviously, when would you like to do large item cleanup?
I think that first Saturday in June.
I'd say that's a great idea.
Yeah, do something different. Something different.
We've been, had it that day. We've got, I was happy to be here for a couple of the phone calls. When are we gonna do that? There's a precedence for the last 30 years, 35 years. We've done it on the first Saturday of June. And now, Em, could you give us a rundown of what you can and cannot do?
As far as with the.
Bring, yeah.
Well, obviously, there's no flammables, no chemicals, no construction debris,
No garbage.
yeah, no garbage, no refuse.
Can't take paint cans.
No paint cans, correct. Tires are limited, I believe it is six, or it is 8 per vehicle that you bring in this year.
And we take them on rims also.
Yeah, we do take them on rims, yeah. And, the one thing is, with the upholstered items, we're doing that with the Department on Aging where they have to be wrapped, or encased in some type of plastic or cover or something like
But
that.
yeah, for us.
But we don't do that for us. We have a mini excavator with a thumb on it that we used last year to go ahead and grab the items so we don't handle them as much. But for the senior Department on Aging days, which are the Thursday and Friday prior, all items have to be wrapped. All the upholstered items, excuse me.
Anybody that's a senior citizen and wants to be involved, we have any open slots?
I think there's still, yeah. There's- as far
You
as I
don't
know.
call the township, you have to call the Department of Aging to sign up for that program. That program is actually completely administered by the Department of Aging. And so one of the things is if you're a senior citizen and registered with them, you get a little ID card. And if not, they'll have you sign up for that. And of course, that's your ticket to their other senior programs. And we will have maybe, 100 slots? 80 to 100.
We've been trying to keep it at 80.
Yeah,
If there's overruns, and a lot of the time, we'll tell them bring it in on Saturday, and we'll take care of it.
right. So that should take care of that. And hours of operation are gonna be from 8 to noon. You drive in, our road department guys will unload, which bring in, and we do have nominal charges, which I think they're adequate. Is there, anybody wanna change the charges from last year, or?
$7 for a carload
Yeah,
or small pickup.
it's been that way for probably 5 years, and it's,
And we use discretion on that, it's you charge $10 for a truckload, but I've seen people come in with pickup trucks and they got one thing in it, so.
yeah, well, that's good.
Try not to.
And you do have to be an Auburn resident.
Yes.
So that's all I have, John.
Okay, thank you. Michael?
Okay, and might as well get this one out of the way. New business, we've got the, let's go with this. The cable franchise fees for Suddenlink, it's $2,701.87. And motion to put that in the land acquisition and improvement fund.
John,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Okay, we also got a letter from Otarma, and that's the Ohio Township Association Risk Management Authority. They do liability for insurance for most of the townships. One of their services is they will do an appraisal of your facilities, and that's for any buildings valued at $50,000 or higher. And that includes all the, doing evaluation of the contents of the building. So they'd like to schedule coming in, and that would be on May 17th, starting at 8 a.m. And what I'd like to do is maybe we can get some kind of itinerary going. And we'll have somebody at the fire department who can let them in.
Do we know when?
Okay, so like I said, that'll be the 17th, and if you guys would have somebody down there on the 17th, if not, we can have Nancy come down. And I'd recommend we just have Nancy She can let them into the Adam Hall, into here in the town hall. So if everybody's good with that,
Do town hall too.
Huh?
Adam Hall and town hall.
Adam Hall, town hall, and the administration building.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys are amenable to that, I will contact Nancy tomorrow and we'll flag what we're gonna do. 'Cause I think the museum's on here too.
Museum, yeah, I was thinking of that, and we got the crypt across the street, but that wouldn't be $50,000.
Basically the museum, or the crypt, and the fire station outbuilding, those are under the 40,000 threshold.
The building at the park.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that was built for less than 50,000, but I don't know what the.
That was right.
Yeah, the building sounds good. Yeah, okay. Park building also. I will contact them, let them know there's one more. All right. Okay, that was all I had. Took care of that then.
Okay. Everything I have tonight is on the agenda, so we're gonna get to that shortly, so Fred.
You have in front of you your regular reports, your fund summary report, appropriation summary report, and revenue summary report, as well as your payment listing report for warrants 5152 through 5180, and electronic payment 148-2019, totaling $160,162.34. Of note on there is payment to Middlefield Banking Company for our annual payment on the service garage loan for $123,360.54. The only other thing that I have is we did receive an estate settlement tax payment payout last month in the amount of $632.40. And I believe it's common practice that we put that in the land acquisition and improvement fund.
Yeah, it has been. And
So,
I would make that motion.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
That is all that I have.
Okay, we're gonna go into some old business here. Nature Works grant, that's through Ohio Department of Natural Resources. We have been promoting recently and discussing a grant application for an additional building at the park, a pavilion, open air. It would be built at near the playground and the existing building and the parking area. We did a little concept thing up there. It's gonna look approximately like this. And we Nancy and I met with Alicia Beatty through Watershed Partners, who we have a resolution to get to here in a minute, authorizing them to make that application for us. But we went over forms, all these included and not limited to. We had an interagency agreement. We filled out a form that we are civil rights compliant. An acknowledgement of that compliance, that's an additional form. We're going to comply with NatureWorks' request for a signal, a sign, and a logo there. Let's see, federal law, we filled out a form that there would be no negative environmental impact. Fred was kind enough to fill out a fund status report and a fund summary showing that we had our match, which I believe is required 20%. We're at about 40% on this application, which should help with our scoring. Statement of values of township buildings. township survey responses, and that goes back to the ones that are done on every decade to back our land use plan and our zoning. Starting in the 90s, those questionnaires included what residents' desires were for future expansion of township services, and starting in the 90s, a park was being mentioned then, and it's been mentioned since then. And surveys, and we compiled all that, did that research, along with the Survey Monkey thing that's going on now, and I think there are around 200 responses, or maybe more than that now. Letters of support are being gathered. I believe we have 4 of them now, and a couple we're waiting on with organizations having meetings in May that let us know they do support us, and they will forward those letters in time. And we did rental research on park pavilions across the county and maintenance programs for those pavilions. Pretty thorough application, and we had a good hour and a half meeting here with Alicia, who's overseeing, helping us coordinate this application. You have the resolution, Fred?
I do.
Okay, it's short, I'll read it. Whereas the state of Ohio, through Ohio Department of Natural Resources, administers financial assistance for public recreation purposes through the State of Ohio Nature Works Grant Program, and whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees desires financial assistance under the Nature Works Grant Program, therefore be it resolved by this board that this Board of Trustees approves filing this application for financial assistance. That Chagrin River Watershed Partners is hereby authorized and directed to execute and file an application with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and to provide all information and documentation required to become eligible for this funding assistance. And Board of Trustees does agree to obligate funds required to satisfactorily complete the project and become eligible for reimbursement under the terms of Nature Works Grant Program. And I will make a motion to adopt that resolution.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mike? Yes. EJ?
Yes. We have one more scheduled meeting with Alicia around mid-month, and that's when we make an application. Okay. Going into new business, we have a request from probate court as well as county recorder's office to use Adam Hall on 2 separate dates, one in August, one in November, for the Good Deeds program. This has been an ongoing thing that was started about 5-6 years ago. Auburn Township was included in the first year. It was done at Adam Hall and various places around the county, and they have not been back to Auburn in 5 years. I took the time to go to one of these programs in South Russell at Gurney School. It was April 17th. We had some questions, but is Adam Hall overkill? Would the town hall work? And you can't really know until you go see it, so I did. They indeed did have in the Gurney High School, or the Gurney School gym, about 90 people, and also there were 4 attorneys they come to these events. Everybody in the community is notified by a letter or postcard in that surrounding area, so I'm sure Auburn will entirely get that mailing as well as maybe some of Cambridge, I don't know. There were 90 residents there, 4 attorneys, 2 set up in the back of the gym, 2 set up out in the hallway. They were with new clients, individuals, interested parties. And it gave every appearance of being a community event for the community it's being held in. So I'm gonna make a motion that, after seeing what I saw, that we make Adam Hall available to that Good Deeds program for no cost.
Including the cleanup?
Yes. We can limit.
We have a precedent.
We can, well, we do.
We have a precedence that we set on this, and we've maintained that for probably 10 years. Why would we change that?
Because this is for the residents. This is what your community halls should be used for.
That's why we had him check on, see how many people would actually use this, so.
Well, if
Yeah.
you brought in 500 and they're doing it, that doesn't make any difference.
Well,
That doesn't make any difference. What about the guy that's having a community event to, I don't know, sell whatever?
This is for,
You're setting the
No.
are you gonna go back to the people that you've all denied over all these years?
again, this is something done by the county government for the people of Auburn Township. I understand where you're coming from, but,
No.
well,
all right, there's a motion.
second,
John,
No.
Mike,
yes.
PJ.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Franchise fees been discussed. The bids were discussed. Okay, we're gonna receive some bids on cracked seal by the next meeting. So we will open for public comment. Yep.
Yeah, excuse me. Warrant 5179 to Weisskopf, for $256.41. What was that?
I don't recall, it was for something for the road department.
What was the name of that again?
Weisskopf?
Yeah, that, yeah,
Industries.
those for gloves, safety items, supplies for the road department.
I'm sorry, it was what?
It was for safety items, gloves, cleaning items, things for the road department.
Okay, so
Scrubs.
this isn't Weisskopf Legal Services then?
No, Weisskopf Industries, he's been a vendor with us for forever and a day.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. Anyone else? Memorial Day's coming up. It's gonna be, we're gonna do our ceremony on Sunday, May 26th, 9 a.m. We're gonna get together at Adam Hall. Prior to that, we're gonna have a ceremony, a small ceremony with a wreath laying over here at Maple Shade. There was some discussion of moving the speaker, who this year will be Master Sergeant, retired U.S. Army Francis Gibbons. Having that also at Adam Hall, I can see some reason that'd be good. I can see some reason that maybe if you held everything at Adam Hall, you wouldn't have anybody go to the museum or to the other cemetery. So for this year, I called Francis and asked him where he'd prefer to speak, and he said, honestly, he'd like to do it outside. So I said, okay, we're gonna put it there, weather permitting. If something goes sideways, we'll do it at Adam Hall. But, yeah, that event's been, the location changed a little bit when we had our issues out here, and we're doing the best we can. We're trying to come up with something more permanent. Large item pickup day. Eli's way up there. Okay, no one else? Anyone else comment? Looking for a motion of the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have to tell Diane.
John.
You can
Yes,
answer.
sir.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ.
Yes.
Call it at 8 o'clock evening.
She puts the set out, and there's another set here, so.
Does everybody need to have something signed? Line up here and come right here.